Welcome back. Well, our next guest has been stealing the hearts of women all over the world. You thieving scoundrel with his crooning ballads.
This four-time Grammy winner is here to talk about his music, family life and his new fragrance. It's Michael Bublé.
Yes.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honestly, you've
Thank
been
you.
dazzling our senses. Our ears have enjoyed your crooning. Our eyes dazzled by your handsomeness. Fragrances now for our nose. If I could just reach out and touch you, that'd be one more.
Can I tell you, we've only spent minutes together.
Oh, no, thank you.
And I'm deeply in love with you already, both of you.
I mean, there's something special.
It's like your
about-
eyes are like a tractor beam.
You know what it
I
is?
have been sucked in, sir, and I never want to leave your arms, ever.
Okay. If you could I just shift in there?
I'm feeling really awkward right now.
You're also...
I'm in
Please.
the wrong place.
This is classic stuff between Canadians and Aussies. Just we kind of get on, don't we? And it's
Yeah.
about time you were back here,
I
Mike.
have so enjoyed it. It's only been a day and a half since
Yeah.
I've been here. But even this morning I did some interviews and I was reminded so quickly of why I am so comfortable here. And I think that there's this wonderful way and this great sense of humor and this sense of kindness and compassion where you're not afraid to be yourselves. And I think it's, oh God, I feel too comfortable here.
Thank
I
God
think
you-
we feel like Australians and Canadians are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Would that be true?
Oh, absolutely. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I think we are. So it's the reason why half my Canadian friends come here on like little visa work permit things and then never ever leave. And why so many of my Australian friends now, if you go to Whistler, it's called just outside of Vancouver, it's a ski resort, and I will call down for breakfast if I stay there, and it's always hello. It's the first thing I hear. Hello. You know, it's this very. I know I sound like a didgeridoo when I do it, but
No, you do a good accent. I introduced myself to you. Hi,
I like
I'm
that you
Jo.
said hi, Joe. And I love it because you took a Joe that could be. I mean, Joe's a nice name, but it's Joe. But when you say it, it's Jory.
I've added about four syllables.
By the way, immigration are going to call. They want some names from you afterwards. Just we're going to tie up some loose ends here from your Canadian buddies.
Yes. Now, we are so excited about your new album, Love. It is your 8th album, but is there something... Why is that terrifying?
I just
You're looking
realised
at
how
me.
old I am.
Yeah.
Oh
it is
my
a
God,
way
really?
to date you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is there something special about this album, Love?
You know what? Every album, I think, is a snapshot of the experience you've been through, where you are and where you're going. And I think that this is, I don't think there's ever been a sort of a better example of that than this record. Obviously, I've gone through, and my family have gone through, an intense struggle. And when you're a public person, it also becomes public. And so to acknowledge it is the only possible way for anyone to understand how much it impacts you and affects your life. And it would be impossible for it not to change my life. And so this record was really a way of me taking the experience and sort of finding a way to therapeutically put down on an acetate how I felt and my gratitude. I really, listen, the world is a crazy place, and everybody knows, everybody watching at home right now knows that it needs love, It needs some baby-making music, and and I was really, I'm happy to be able to, I really am, I love this stuff a lot.
It's
so.
come along in a little bundle about 7 weeks ago, your new daughter.
Yes.
And please tell us, for everyone, that you're going to be the soccer dad trying to do the maths of getting 3 kids to sports across the weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Newborn little Vida. How's
Yeah,
it
it's a, what you can't know is that, until I tell you, is that I love it. I love being a parent. I have she's a month and a half old.
Yep.
I have 2 little boys, 2 and 5. And so, being able to come here to Australia is the greatest paid vacation I have ever been on in my life. I have never slept. Even last night, I came in, I flew in, I went from London to Dubai, stopped in Dubai and made a connection here. And at about 7 o'clock last night, I was, terribly jet lagged. I just felt the burn, and I slept, even in a horrible jet lag sleep, I slept better than I have slept in 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, because there's something about that silence you have in a hotel room when you're used to being in a family life, and you lie there and you're like, I don't need anything but this silence right now.
You know, totally. It was, and I woke up and I went, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to sleep. and this is also, I mean, this is going to be a strange juxtaposition, but I know that part of what I'm going to do, because as I'm staring on the table, I can see the fragrance here. And it's lovely, but much of the time, I smell like poop and a mix of, wet wipes, a little poopy smell, and an acidic, milky, vomity smell.
Sure.
And it's always, I feel like it's always there. Like it's just always, and I see myself that I'll be out somewhere, and again, I'm a famous guy, I guess, a public figure.
Yeah, you are.
And so I'll be out, and I'll be at Starbucks or somewhere, and I'll be talking, and people will see me go, you know, I'll have the, and I literally go like, and I go like, I know I can smell it. It's somewhere.
Yes.
And most of the time, almost 99.9% of the time, a friend of mine will then like point to my shoulder and go, it's there. And there'll just be the, you know, the baby spittle puke, something there.
And you'll be like, I don't even know what that is.
This suit is so clean right now.
Have there been any texts from the wifey saying, how's the publicity tour going? Coincidence? Maybe 7 weeks old.
Yes.
Well, it's funny. She actually does say, she'll say, I mean, this morning was, gosh, I'm so mixed up with time, but it was, she'd taken one of my sons to school. And she actually said, how are you enjoying your holiday? And I've been doing press since early morning, you know, I hope you're enjoying your time. I say like, yeah.
You know, that's a trap. You have to pretend like you're having a miserable time. You can't sound to be having a good time. I only have one, but when my husband's away, you know, I don't want to hear that he's having a good time. Even though I wish him well.
I find myself lying a lot, where I will, you know, she'll say like, I'm going to go get my nails done or go hang with my friends, and are you okay with the 3? And I'll say, yeah, of course. And so I'll have them alone, and it's really hard. I'm the worst, most unorganized human being ever, and I know there's too much poop talk, but there'll just be like a bunch of things going wrong, and I've burnt the dinner, and there's like that one's going to the bathroom and the other one wants to go pee, and then the little baby's crying, and it'll be just chaos. And she'll get home that night, and she'll say, how was it? And I'll say, fine, totally fine. Easy. And I'll lie because I'm too guilty about knowing that when I leave, she does it all and effortless, just like it's nothing. And I feel like
That's so comforting to hear that story, though, because it plays out in houses across the world.
Yeah,
So
we're
thank you
all
for
the
sharing.
same. We're all the same.
Thank you for sharing.
There, of course, is the fragrance Peony Noir, which is beautiful. I've had a little spritz. And I must say, when you are a housewife, you like a little something to lift you in your day. Did you ever imagine that you'd be designing fragrances as well?
It's so funny. At 16 years old, working on my father's fishing boat, with my hat on backwards, there were many things that I envisioned that could happen in my life potentially. And being a perfumer, someone with his own brand of fragrances was not on my radar. Can you imagine how ridiculous that would have been for me as a
absolutely,
kid?
Particularly on a fishing boat, which has its own scent, you know.
Yes, it does, yeah.
I mean, I think you missed the opportunity to call it bubbly. What the heck? But, I mean, that's not Peony Noir.
I've been really lucky with the... I really have been lucky with a group of people that, you know, when this first came, I had gotten an email from my manager, and he had said, do you have any interest in creating a fragrance? And honestly, I wrote back quickly and said, no, I don't. It was so far out of my comfort zone, and the only celebrity I had known, male, who had his own fragrance was Antonio Banderas. So it was so foreign to me, and I ended up going down and meeting with the perfumers, and I ended up saying, what I ended up saying to my manager and everyone else was, listen, I must be involved. if I'm going to go and speak about this, if they're going to put my name on it, it can't be something where they create a brand and then I go and hawk it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I didn't have the stomach to do it.
So you're in the lab? You know?
I was, yeah.
Oh.
I really was. And you know what? There was more than just being in the lab, because I was even, I was pretty, it's funny, I'm not difficult to work with, but even the packaging was something that I really cared about. I really wanted to make sure that listen, it's with anything I do, I want to make sure that there's integrity. Now this, what you're talking about here, I should tell you in context. This, I didn't create the same way that I had created the first fragrance called By Invitation. That fragrance, I had met them, I had gone and done it all, and the truth is, through the relationship, we had started to build the trust. And so when it came to having this, I think they earned my respect and my trust.
Well, first review is in. Love it.
You like it?
Delicious.
I like it too. For Canadians, I mean, if there are Canadians out there, I love that. Not only is it obviously a great
I've just
smell,
realised what it is.
it's a hockey puck.
It is a hockey puck.
Oh, get
You are hilarious.
It is not.
I didn't mean for
You
that
are
to happen,
funny.
but I am now forever grateful they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
created a hockey puck.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mate, we're going to spray it around the sofa so we'll be eternally reminded
You know what's really
of your
cool?
visit.
When I walked in tonight to the studio, I could smell it.
Yes, I've been
and I was
spraying it.
I was really happy.
Did you see the scattered rose petals? We usually do that.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You know, the first day that this came out, I was in New York doing I went to do there was a big push to talk about it, and all the media had set up, and I had walked past the room where all these poor journalists had all been sort of cornered into this room. And I heard one of the journalists say to the other journalist, "Yeah, I actually tried it and I actually liked it." And I remember going into the interview room, and all I could think was, it hurt me. It was a bit hurtful, because my first question was, I liked that they liked it, but why were they so surprised that they liked it? What were they expecting, you know?
Yeah, well.
Fantastic stuff. Mate, we're so grateful you're here. It's lovely to see you in the flesh. You got a flash visit across the country, of course. Please do not use Michael's brand new fragrance as a hockey puck.
No.
But we are giving away 10 signed copies, which you're going to do for us now, of the beautiful Peony Noir. If you'd like a chance to win, just head to our website. It's houseofwellness.com.au to enter. Stay with us, everybody. The legend has been here with us. It's been great meeting you. That's you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.